What's up, guys? Welcome back to Gem and Cozy. It is the end of April, so I am packing Patreon rewards for my stationery club. This month's theme was mushroom based, so I was inspired by this idea of kind of creating a design or wreath around keep going, keep growing. So I decided to make it a little bit like midnight themed with the darker shades of blue. And I, of course, had to put two different types of mushrooms and butterflies in it. The matching sticker is clear, and I designed the sticker shortly after the art print, and I knew that I wanted it to be a set. And the sticky note is right here. It's super pretty. It's a vibrant yellow. And I spent way too long making this border. I was actually on Instagram Live making it, so some of you guys might have hung out with me while I designed it. This is the other matching sticker. It is so random and silly. So the story behind it is that I was grocery shopping at an Asian supermarket, and I was looking at the oyster mushrooms. So a lot of them are called king oysters if you get the really large ones. So I thought it would be so funny and cute to have all hail the mushroom king with an oyster mushroom. So I made him a little robe and I put a little crown on him, and this was just so much fun to create. This is definitely one of my more niche and silly stickers, but I really hope that you guys appreciate it. It was such a delight to draw, and it's so happy and cozy. Safi is actually hanging out with me right here, and I am in the living room. She had surgery this week, so whenever I can, I come in and I massage her leg and take off her cone of shame so that she could just rest without that around her neck. Of course, if I can't observe her and be in the room with her, then she has to be wearing the cone. But I figured I could just bring my little work boxes in here and make some bundles while she naps. She was kind of walking around for a little bit and looking out the window, but now she's taking a nap with the window open, and it's so nice outside, guys. So we're just having a little inside picnic, I guess. I recently asked you guys on Instagram and on TikTok to ask me questions so that I can answer them on my next video. So here are just a few. One of you guys asked me, when did you know that you wanted to turn your passion into your job, basically? I guess I've answered this one before, but I had no idea what I was getting into when I started Gem and Cozy. I really thought, okay, I'm gonna just do this for fun, and if it grows into something bigger, then I'll decide what I want to do with it then. But I don't think I was ever thinking that this was gonna work out. I worked in healthcare. I really enjoyed my job, and I have always been a really creative person too, so I really missed making things, and I think that getting a Cricut and starting digital art was a really fun excuse to be creative and do something for myself. But I tend to be one of those people who sort of get overly invested in hobbies, so I'm not surprised that I ended up doing this full time in that sense, because I tend to spend a lot of time on just creative things or random passion projects, and I'm very experimental, so I like to just see how things go. I'm always like, I'm gonna just try for fun and then I'll commit to things for like, you know, a month or two at a time. And I don't know, I've always been that kind of person, so I think that helps. I think the moment I knew that I needed to take Gem and Cozy to the next step, to the next level of going full time, was when I hit a point where I couldn't keep up with packing orders and also going into work, and it just became exhausting. I was using my lunch breaks to drop off mail. I was responding to emails during my lunch breaks at work, and I was waking up early to pack orders, as well as working into the middle of the night, like 1 a.m. to pack orders on weekdays as well. So it was just getting to be too much, and I realized I really needed to make that change. So I took the leap of faith and did it. I am really fortunate that I felt like I was well supported because my boyfriend also works, so it didn't feel as stressful giving this a shot. But I know that that's not a possibility for everyone, so I feel very fortunate. Another question I got asked was, have you always done art and were you supported by your parents to do it? I might not be saying the question word for word because the questions are on my phone and I'm recording with my phone, so I'm glancing at them as I go. I was not. Unfortunately, I was always drawing since I was very little. I remember drawing pictures for visiting family members, like aunts, even as young as when I was like 4. I have memories like that where I'm like, I drew this for you. And a lot of different people in my family did say, oh, you're such a great artist, you know, you should be an artist when you grow up, especially my grandparents. But my parents never encouraged it. I think a big part of it is because they didn't believe in art being a viable career path. But I also think that I can say, like, with confidence, now that I'm older and really like thought about my childhood a lot, my parents weren't very affectionate people. I don't think they grew up in an environment that really catered to their emotional needs, especially from their generation. So I kind of grew up with the same type of parenting. Like, I didn't really hear like, oh, you did a good job, like on much of anything. And I know that sounds sad, but I think that that's a lot more common than people think. So I know a lot of other people connect with that experience as well. So my parents never really encouraged me in any direction, but it definitely wasn't towards art. A lot of my teachers growing up told me that I was very talented and they were really encouraging, but I don't think I really like knew what to make of that. I felt like I never really knew what I wanted to do when I got older. And I remember I had to take these, I think I took a career psychology course as part of my undergrad, and I had to write down a bunch of different interests and connect it to possible career ideas as one of my projects. And all the things I'm interested in on that list are still things I'm interested in now. So I don't know, I felt like I was just very like, I don't know what I should do with my life, and I know I should do something that like makes a decent amount of money so that I don't worry, because that was my parents' like biggest concern. I was a very average person, average student. I didn't really feel like I was excelling at anything in particular, and I had a really hard time focusing in structured school settings. So I never thought like my grades were gonna be good enough either. So I don't know. I think I was a very confused kid. And when I think back on all of this, I have no idea. It's kind of a big blur. The results for this project were really interesting. A lot of the things I mentioned that I was interested in would be making video content. I've always been interested in YouTube, and I used to actually make YouTube videos for fun when I was an undergrad, and my face was in it and everything, so it's kind of funny that now I'm not doing that. But I've always enjoyed photography, and whenever I watch movies, I love to like analyze the way that it was filmed and the music choices, the angles, and everything like that. That's super fun to me. A lot of things just came together, and the job that I currently have sort of includes a lot of it. I'm making video content, I'm making art, I'm doing photography, and I am hopefully gonna do other things that I'm interested in too. I have always wanted to write a children's book, and I want to make a coloring book. So a lot of these ideas are all related, I think. I totally got sidetracked answering this question. I guess what I want to end on for that though is that even if you don't have supportive parents or parents who don't recognize one of your skill sets, I hope that you recognize that that's something you enjoy and explore it on your own. I started with Etsy shops making handmade cards and jewelry for fun at the age of 19, and that wasn't for money, that was purely for fun as a creative outlet while I was in school. And all of those years of figuring out how to run an online business for fun really led to this. So everything adds up in the right direction, and exploring anything that you're remotely interested in and honing in on that craft helps you build the right transferable skills towards the direction you're headed in. So do it all. Do everything that you're interested in. If it's within means, within budget, go for it. You want me to make you a bowl of food? I turned the TV on mute because I don't want any noises to upset Safi, and she just woke up and took a little walk with me. She can only do 5 minutes, so she peed. Good girl. And I set up my little station to pack some things. Carter is very sad that he can't be in here and play with Safi. Michelle is helping me pack the orders. The lighting in here is terrible, so we're probably not gonna have too much going on over here. Watching your left hand at the end is like, you peel it, and then that left hand's like, I don't give a fuck.
It's so nice.
It's a little bit like the chef's kiss emoji, but like,
oh, like
you're releasing it like, I'm done. Girl Safi, we're doing a little heat pack. You're doing it. I got a few other questions, so I thought I would answer them while I put these stamps on. What other art mediums are you interested in trying? And this was asked by Happy Olive Studio, which is Amy. I actually really want to try gouache paint because that looks so pretty. I love how you can layer and get a really opaque color with it. And I would love to try the alcohol-based markers because the blending on that is so cool. I also think I have a lot to learn about watercolor and acrylic paint still, so I think I need to take in more techniques. This also applies to Procreate because I know very little about digital art even though I draw with my iPad so often. HC Celebrations asked, what's your favorite show right now? I would say it's probably Ted Lasso. My sister and my boyfriend enjoys that show, so we really have a good time watching it together. It's really funny, but I really love all the character development. I feel like each character has such an in-depth journey to them, so it makes the show really comprehensive to me. It feels like it's not actually just one character that you're following, but many who are intertwined so well. So we love that show. Prop Master K asked, how long did it take you to develop your art style? This is a really good question, and honestly a really complicated one because I'm not really sure. I think I've always been interested in the same elements of art, like the little starry celestial backgrounds and floral components. And in the past 5 years, I started dabbling in more like cursive calligraphy type of handwriting, and I started pairing that with my watercolor art. So that started to transition into my digital artwork as well. So I'm gonna say maybe 3 to 5 years for my current style. Carter, come here. Sit with me. There you go. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I'll catch you next time. Enjoy.